In this lesson, I'm going to start the process of setting up my solution so that I can get started building the architectural spike. So I'm going to add a fresh solution, and I'm going to pay attention to the naming, and then I'll add two projects to that solution. First project will be a class library project. It'll be the home for our domain layer. And then secondly, a unit test project where I'll test my domain layer class library. And throughout this project, I'm going to be adding more projects to enable the other layers in my architecture, but this will get us started and will be the focus for this particular series in our applied architecture for the domain layer. So I'm going to be working with Visual Studio Professional 2012. As you can see, you can use any edition of Visual Studio as long as it allows you to create unit tests. Now, I think you can follow along with Visual Studio 2012 Express for Web, but I'm not entirely sure. You might be better off just downloading Visual Studio 2012 Professional or greater to make sure that you can follow along. Also, I'm pretty sure that you can follow along with Visual Studio 2010 Professional, but I don't think you can use the 2010 versions of the Express editions. So if that describes you, try out the 2012 Express for Web. That might work. If it doesn't, again, worst case, just download the 90-day trial edition of Visual Studio Professional 2012. Okay, poof. All right, we'll get started here by creating a new project. And so what I want to do is go to Other Project Types and Visual Studio Solutions. I'm going to select Blank Solution, and I want to give this a name. I'm going to call this acme.maintenance. I'm tempted to just call it Acme, but honestly, I know that this is going to affect the base namespace, and there might be other Acme applications in the future that I want to share out the domain layer with, and then click OK. And so the first thing I want to do is right-click this and select Add a New Project, and I want to make sure I'm in the C# templates, and I think I can just choose Windows. I just need to find the class library project, and I'm going to name this Acme Maintenance.domain, and click OK. And then the next thing I want to do is go back to the solution, right-click it, and select Add New Project. And we're going to go to Visual C# Test Projects. I want to add a unit test project, and I'm going to call this Acme Maintenance.domain.test. All right. Alright, and so in this domain.test, what I'm going to do is right-click and select Add a Reference. And I want to choose, I'm going to create a reference from the test project to the domain project. And so I want to make sure that Solution Projects is selected on the left, and I'm going to click the little checkbox next to acme.maintenance.domain and click OK. And then the next thing that I want to do is I'm going to actually write a unit test that so that I can make sure that I can see the domain project here from the test project here. So to do that, what I'll do is go var my class equals new class 1, and then assert dot is instance of type my class and type of class 1. Okay. And now what I want to do from the test menu is select Run All Tests. I want to verify that this test passed. And again, that will just prove to me that I can now see the domain classes and methods that I create from my unit test project. And as we can see, it's hiding over there on the left. it indeed passes. Okay, and that's all that I really wanted to accomplish. Now that we have everything wired up correctly, we can start writing real tests, and we'll do that beginning in the next lesson. So we'll see you there. Thanks.